So you can imagine we're excited about this. We're only a 40-year-old party, but it is wonderful to feel that we've gotten back to our roots and rebrand and refresh. Turning it over to Jonathan.
Merci, Elizabeth. Thank you. We're so excited to be unveiling this new logo. A logo that presents a bold, fresh vision for the Green Party of Canada at a time when we need to get back to the basics. As a grassroots party, we've always tried to unite people, to bring people together. And in a society where people are so divided, where there is so much anger, it is good to come together. It is good to gather around specific values, and God knows that we need unity in these troubled times. On est tellement excités aujourd'hui de présenter un nouveau logo. Après 25 ans, un logo qui nous ramène un petit peu à la base de notre parti, qui est un parti de grassroots, c'est un parti populaire, c'est un mouvement. À un moment où le Canada est tellement divisé, où il y a tellement de chicanes un peu entre les gens, c'est bon de se rassembler autour des valeurs qui nous unissent. Et c'est ce qu'on a essayé de représenter à travers ce nouveau logo. But make no mistake, this is not just about a logo. This is about an exploration of who we are as Greens, a deep exploration of what it is that actually motivates us to be in politics. And what motivates us to be in politics, first and foremost, of course, is a keen desire to protect the planet, protect community, protect the people. But it is also about uplifting the voices of all Canadians and bringing people together. And that is something that through this process of rebranding, we collectively, through several workshops with hundreds of members throughout the country. Mike Morrice here was very much involved. Elizabeth, it's been a 1.5 year process. Long process led by Greg, Clea, and of course Audrey-Anne, who's our National Communications Director. It was really a grassroots effort to represent who we are, and we're very proud to unveil this new logo and this new website, as well as a bold positioning for the Greens ahead of the next election. C'est certain que ça a été un long processus, 1 an et demi pratiquement, où on a fait plusieurs workshops avec des membres un peu partout à travers le pays. C'est un processus qui a été mené par Greg Dural ici, Cléa Audrey-Anne, qui est notre directrice de communication, et puis Mike Morrice, Elisabeth, tout le caucus vert a participé énormément dans l'élaboration de ce nouveau logo, un logo qui représente vraiment les valeurs du parti. Parce qu'il ne faut pas faire l'erreur de penser que c'est juste un nouveau logo qu'on présente aujourd'hui. C'est une nouvelle identité de marque. C'est quelque chose qui représente vraiment qui sont les Verts aujourd'hui en 2025. À un moment où la société est tellement divisée, on veut ramener les gens ensemble. On veut on veut encourager les gens à passer au vert. C'est le temps qu'on ait de l'action ici au Canada. On peut se permettre tellement plus que ce qu'on s'est permis jusqu'à présent, mais c'est important d'avoir le courage politique de dire les choses telles qu'elles sont et dans un moment où très franchement, les choses sont un peu déprimantes. On veut ramener un peu d'optimisme dans les foyers partout à travers le Canada, puis c'est ça qu'on va faire tout au long de l'élection fédérale qui s'en vient. So we're very happy. It's been a long process, but we're only getting started, and we're excited to move forward with this. On vient de commencer un long processus qui va nous mener aux élections fédérales. C'est juste le début, mais on est très excités par rapport à ce qui s'en vient. Vous allez voir, il y a des belles surprises qui nous attendent du côté des Verts du Canada. Mike?
Right, thank you, Jonathan. For me, again, it's Mike Morrice, Member of Parliament for Kitchener Centre. For me, this is all a bit of a wind in my sails. With a strong and refreshed brand, with strong leadership, this is what allows me to continue to strongly advocate in my community. In the face of a housing crisis, while folks with disabilities continue to live disproportionately in legislated poverty, while we need to continue to have a strong response to the U.S. talk of tariffs, my work will continue advocating in my community, and it's easier, and I'm more excited to continue to do so, knowing we have such strong leadership in the federal party and a refreshed brand to go with it. Merci, thank you.
I just say that as we prepare for an election that we all, I think, suspect is sooner than later, I couldn't be more thrilled that this exercise, which you've heard has been a process of more than 1.5 years, should come to such positive completion so we're able to share. And please do go to the Green Party website. It's a revamped website reflecting our it's more than a logo. It's more than a refresh. It's a statement about the things that really matter. Yes, a round dot, the planet. Yes, a circular economy, a different way of thinking about the way Canada protects itself in these times of deeply integrated North American economies. What have we committed ourselves to for generations as a country but a rip and strip economy where raw resources get shipped out? That's the opposite of a circular economy. Some of you may not know the term circular economy. It was actually adopted by Canada and all the other countries of the world that participated in the Dubai climate discussions so long ago now. But the point of it is that it's now accepted globally as a vision of economic activity that is profitable, that creates wealth, and doesn't destroy the very planet we need for our survival. Again, there's a lot wrapped up in something simple. C'est simple, mais c'est pas seulement simple. C'est simple, mais avec beaucoup de complexité et aussi les valeurs profondes dans cet petit change peut-être. Et pour nous, nous trouvons que nous avons choisi une image qui marche pour nous. After all, that green circle is the universal global symbol for go.
Any questions?
Yes, with the potential federal election after the Liberal leadership, how many candidates would you have running at this point?
I'm not sure about at this point. We will have a full slate by the writ drop, but if we have an up-to-date, we have a lot of people still going through vetting. We're not feeling nervous about having a full slate. I'm going to be tomorrow actually going to a low-key fundraiser because, goodness gracious, with an election in Ontario right now, there's not a lot of high-profile Ontario federal candidates that I can go out and hold big rallies because we don't want to confuse the landscape with Doug Ford's unnecessary snap election in Ontario. God bless Green Party leader of Ontario, Mike Schreiner, and his amazing team, Ashlyn Clancy and Matt Richter, and the work they're doing. But I'm going to be in Guelph tomorrow campaigning for the next member of Parliament for Guelph, Green Party candidate Anne-Marie Zajlik. She's a prominent and much respected doctor in Guelph. There are a lot of places where we expect to win seats, and I say that knowing that it may sound overly confident, but I think it's fair to share with people in this room that we expect to win a lot more seats. And it's not based on some sort of pie-in-the-sky vision for the future. It's based on great candidates with strong teams who are assembling across the country.
And I know you said that the logo represents more, but I mean, by my count, we could be in election in less than 3 weeks, depending on how urgent the next Prime Minister and leader of the Liberal Party is. So I guess, why isn't there sort of policy proposals or the planks of your platform along with it, or can we expect those soon?
Oh, it's coming, Stuart. It's coming very soon. So stay on us. It's coming very soon. We're gonna have a very bold vision for what is possible in this country, and the logo is only the first step in unveiling the platform, and that's gonna start very soon.
So I just wanted to add that, as far as I know, we're first in line and the first to contact the Parliamentary Budget Office of all of the major parties. We're the first to say, we'll need your help in costing our platform because our platform will be costed. And as you probably know, that was added to the Parliamentary Budget Officer's mandate a couple of years back, that they can actually review platform promises and make sure that they make budgetary sense. So we're in that process. So that's the degree of how close we are to sharing what you'll see in a platform, and that it will be fully costed.
One more brief addition, Stuart, for yourself or others who are curious about policy. If you go to greenparty.ca, you'll see a number of clear policies from the party as a starting point, not the full platform. But when it comes to affordable housing, you'll see a lot of the advocacy that our caucus has been doing over the last number of years, along with a number of additional planks when it comes to getting government back into the business of building housing, of stopping corporate profiteering of the housing market. You'll see advocacy related to folks with disabilities and ending legislated poverty by fixing and fully funding the Canada Disability Benefit. I believe there's 9 or so planks that are currently posted on greenparty.ca along with today's announcement. And surely, as you heard from both leaders, a fully costed platform will also to follow.
We will take a question from a journalist joining on Zoom. David Thurton, please go ahead.
Hey, folks. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi. I'm just wondering, we could be, 3 weeks out from an election. How much sense does it make to change your party's logo? It means for existing candidates who might be running again, they can't reuse lawn signs and other material. It means that you have to do a whole new rebrand. So I'm just wondering, and it's also, for the voters, they would have recognized you from your previous logo. So I'm just wondering how much sense it makes to change things up, possibly 3 weeks out from an election campaign.
Thank you, David. This is a process that's been underway for a year and a half. That's involved a lot of people throughout the party. This is something that we built from the grassroots up through the great work that Greg and Clea and Adrian, of course, have been doing with EDAs, various candidates. But the great thing about this logo is that it is easily reproducible, right? It's very easy to reproduce. It's something, it's also an emoji, quite frankly. So it's something that is highly versatile. It's something that is easy to produce. And for a grassroots party like ours, we couldn't think of a better way of showing that we're accessible, that we're easy to own, basically. We want this logo to be representative, but also we want people to feel some level of ownership towards it. And there's no better way for that to happen than making it easy for people to reproduce.
I'll also say, as suggested by Jonathan's answer, that we, and hi, David, since you're not here, I'll wave to you in Zoomland. The thing about it is, we are a party that believes in reduce, reuse, recycle. I've saved all my campaign lawn signs. I plan to reuse them. I'm not going to dump them because we have a beautiful new rebrand. But we are going to adapt the signs and make sure that we have this new green circle image plastered over whatever looks outdated. It won't be hard to do. And for most of our candidates, and basically everybody's been told for months out, don't print any new literature till the new rebrand is out. So everybody's poised, ready, and just like our logo, it's ready, set, go.
Yeah, I'll just follow up here. Do the Greens want Parliament to return? Or do you think it's time, because, we need to, we're up against a situation in the United States with a new American president. Is it time to go to an election, or are you calling for the return of Parliament after the Liberals select their new leader?
David, I would be very pleased to see a return of Parliament, but only under the conditions of a cessation of hostilities between all party leaders so that we knew we could actually get some work done. So if that was on offer, right, if it was on offer that we could get to work, I've written multiple letters to all the party leaders since prorogation occurred on January 6th, desperately trying to reach all my colleagues to say, let's rescue some of that legislation that just died on the order paper. Let's work together in the time we have before March 24th. Let's find ways to do things together. Let's meet, let's talk, let's strategize. I'd love to work together. And for many of the things that we need to work together, for instance, for passing legislation, we can't do that without Parliament in session. But without every party leader and a motion on unanimous consent, that there will be no motions of confidence until key legislation is passed, until key obstacles have been cleared. It would just be an exercise in bringing on a quick election. And frankly, as awkward as it may seem for some Canadians that we're facing Trump's increasingly erratic, irresponsible, and potentially illegal threats against us, we have a cabinet government in place. It's able to take action. During an election, we only can have a housekeeping function of government, a caretaker function. So in terms of how best we're able to respond, we're quite well able to respond now with a cabinet government. I'd much rather have Parliament in session, be able to let us get the work done that we want to get done. But if it was just an exercise in more partisan and sniping, and of course, we're on the verge of an election. What are the chances that politics will not become increasingly partisan in Parliament right before an election? So again, without a very specific set of agreements with all the party leaders, I think we just are likely to see an election very, very soon. No, I think personally, I wouldn't put much chance on us actually meeting as a Parliament on March 24th and proceeding from then. But we shall see. Much depends on what happens March 9th, and none of these things are certainties. They are all question marks, and I prefer not to speculate on hypotheticals, but to share with Canadians. We're fortunate that, in some ways unfortunate, I personally regret forever that Stephen Harper thought it was appropriate to pass with a cabinet vote an investment treaty with the People's Republic of China that was lopsided and gave most of the advantages to the People's Republic of China. Bear in mind, that was passed by the cabinet. It never came to Parliament. So the powers of a cabinet to deal with international treaties is solely cabinet power, believe it or not. It's custom to put a treaty to Parliament for a vote, but it's not required. So here we are where we are. We're in an election very, very soon. I don't think there's any doubt about that, and we welcome it because we're excited to present our ideas and an alternative for Canadians that'll, I hope, engage voters at higher levels than has been the case in the last few elections. Voter turnout and youth engagement is so important, and we really hope to reach those people who didn't think it was important to vote in 2021. It's really important to vote in 2025.
David, just to briefly follow up, I think what you heard from Elizabeth is making clear that as Greens, we're ready for the politics of other parties and what they're looking to play over coming weeks. But I'm really proud that as Greens, we've been the ones calling for parties to work together to get some key legislation across the finish line. Legislation related to drinking water on First Nation reserves, related to electoral participation, for which there is pretty broad consensus on some key elements that should other parties want to turn down the politics, however unlikely that may be as an election approaches, we are ready to ensure that those key pieces of legislation get done, and that's exactly what Elizabeth has been calling for months now.
Can I just add, just sorry about this, just to say that we're the only party that has responded affirmatively to the report of Madam Justice Hogue and said it is not too late to make the changes recommended so that we can prevent foreign interference, do a better job preventing foreign interference. Yes, as much as it's late in the day that we got Madam Justice Hogue's report and Parliament was prorogued when we got it, if we chose to do so, as federal party leaders, we could amend the Elections Act in all the ways recommended by the Hogue Commission. Pourquoi pas? C'est absolument possible. Mais les autres chefs des partis n'ont pas répondu à mes lettres, les lettres. But I'll keep trying.
Thank you. This concludes the press conference. Merci. C'est ce qui conclut cette conférence de presse.
Merci.
Merci beaucoup.